ain't so. Say it ain't so. Honey, I tell you what. Somebody better turn to y'all neighbor and say, neighbor, the devil don't take no days off in Hollywood or Hollyweird. Come on now. Because, baby, when I tell y'all, I came across this story and I almost dropped my communion cracker. Okay? And you know them crackers are good now. Because, Beyonce Nanny, y'all, then went viral saying that she has witnessed black magic in that house. I don't know if it was on the Beyonce Island or what, girl. I said, what? Not in the house with the Grammys. I know they not doing black magic in the house with the Grammys, y'all. Yes, they are. Not in the house with the lemonades, okay? In the Ivory Parks. Girl, see? You better watch what you wear. See, you have all that fame and you still fighting unseen forces behind closed doors because the devil don't care how many followers y'all got. He's still gonna knock on your door looking for a way in. Am I lying? Nah, I ain't saying Beyonce did nothing. Okay, I don't want her suing me and I don't want her doing no voodoos on me. Okay, don't get me wrong. I'm just a messenger, okay? But honey, when your nanny, the one rocking your baby to sleep, start talking about I felt spirits moving through that damn house, child, my edges stood up and I started to praise him myself. Glory to God. Woo, I'm so thankful. I don't got the money she got. I don't got the followers she got. But I don't got to worry about dark forces and dark magic shit moving in my house. Oh, God. Whew. Because what did the Bible say, y'all? I'll tell you what the Bible said. The Bible says we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, powers, rulers of darkness, and high places. Now, Beyonce, she's in a high place, honey, when it comes to Hollywood, okay? And, baby, them high places might just be in the Calabasas, might just be in Bel Air. Get these likes up, y'all. Get these likes up because I got a video right here. We're going to have to watch this because they are dropping some bombshells. You hear me? Whoo! You cannot buy your way out of spiritual warfare, y'all. You can't be dripping in diamonds and still drenched in demon energy if you don't have no covering. Listen to me, church. I said, listen to me. Listen to me. Whoo! Y'all be so busy trying to manifest. You don't forgot how to pray. Y'all burning sages, but not rebuking spirits. Y'all talking about respect, protecting my peace, but you ain't even asked God to be your protection. I said what I said. You want abundance, but you don't want to anoint your house. You don't want to anoint your panties. How about that? How about anointing them panties? You want prosperity, but can't remember the last time you done opened your goddamn Bible. Ooh! You better watch who you let in your circle, who you let in your home, who you let pray over your kids, because everything holy sounding ain't even heaven sent. That's why a bitch can't pray for me. Tell me I'm going to pray for you. No, you won't. I don't want you to pray for me. I don't know who you praying for. God ain't even listening to your prayers, girl. I'm looking at your life. God ain't on your side. God is not on everybody's side. And it's very telling. Don't you pray for me? Keep your mouth off of me, ho. Okay? Now, baby, let me tell y'all what I took from this story. That nanny might be scared, but God used her as a warning, y'all, because fame without faith is just a fancy fall from grace. You can have your mansions, you can have your money, your millions, but if God ain't the foundation, your house is built on sand, not rock. Sometimes he'll let the truth leak out through the least expected person, a nanny, okay? Or an assistant, or a janitor, or a bodyguard, or a security guard, just to remind the world that spiritual warfare is real. So, honey, we gotta watch this video. Y'all ready with me? Let's roll the clip.
Beyonce is being accused again of doing black magic. Now, here's what I'm gonna say. Everybody ain't lying. I spent probably a week doing research on all the people that they were connected with, and all of them are connected to some sort of black magic, some sort of witchery.
Not Beyonce going back to that demonic voodoo mess just so she can help her and Jay-Z to get out of all the dark things they allegedly did with Diddy. Beyonce was already exposed for doing witchcraft on folks and allegedly even keeping dead bodies in her house for her rituals, but baby, the receipts of those allegations are finally getting exposed by her nanny, and it's even worse than we thought. Not only that, but word on the street is Jay-Z is getting seriously broke, and Bey is the one keeping him from losing his billionaire status. No wonder he has her out here touring back-to-back with a broken knee and popping out different businesses at the speed of light.
He put in the lawsuit, Jay-Z, that he was facing financial hardship, saying that he was not able to get business loans that he needed for his business and personal life because of these lawsuits. They've caused reputational harm, and banks denied him, even though he couldn't get loans before to save Roc Nation. And so he had to resort to a PPP loan to save Roc Nation. And how is it that a billionaire can't go into his own stash and allow his business to borrow money from him to save his business? Why does he have to run to the government to save him?
The rumors about Bey's alleged witchcraft have been a thing since she started in the industry, but it got mainstream attention when her ex-drummer Kimberly Thompson, who had been on several tours with her for years, suddenly quit her job in the middle of the On the Run 2 tour and accused Beyonce of using extreme witchcraft behind the scenes. She said when she finally quit the tour, Beyonce allegedly sent people to her to make sure she didn't come running to the internet. Things got so bad that she filed a restraining order against Beyonce because she was scared for her life.
Guys, I cannot make this stuff up. Beyonce's ex-drummer of 7 years, she is seeking a restraining order against Beyonce. She's accusing her of dark magic, witchcraft, tapping into her phone bill, and basically controlling her finances, She's saying the Beyonce camp is put up a huge harassment campaign against her, and it's overall witchcraft. She sought a restraining order in the past. It got denied, and she has another one scheduled for October 11th, but the internet is just like, what? Excuse me? And, I was just at the Beyonce concert last week in Houston. It was definitely a religious experience.
What the girl cats? A girl went to court and charged her with extreme witchcraft. She was hypnotized. She was drugged. Beyonce came and she was in there eating on her while she was asleep, snacking on his killing people cats. And guess what? They wouldn't give her the restraining order. They just told her to stay away from Beyonce and work for somebody else. Guess what? She's having a hard time finding work too, which is interesting because she's a brilliant musician and she was trained at the esteemed Berklee College of Music, handpicked by my very good friend, Terry Lynn Carrington, Dr. Terry Lynn Carrington, who put together Beyonce's entire female band.
Kimberly kept quiet for years after this because people were calling her crazy and even pulling up to her home to leave hate letters. However, just a few months ago, she finally decided to speak on this situation again. And baby, she had a whole lot to say. She said she regrets ever working for Beyonce because ever since she exposed everything, she hasn't been able to find work in the industry. She even accused Beyonce's sister Solange of also being in on the demonic stuff.
I definitely did that to definitely be so clear to cut the cord that I don't want to have anything to do with this person at all. I don't want to work with them. I'm even embarrassed that I have worked with them because it literally scattered everything that I've tried to build after doing that work in my life. So I always said when I was a kid, I never would want to regret anything, but this I regret. I regret that we ever worked together because it turned my life completely upside down. She's not been able to let me go. She's not been able to let me progress into a mature woman and work with other people, build other great entities and statues and trophies that develop in the arts world and music. She's just been a savage, stealing my intellectual property, stealing my ideas, just basically doing anything and everything to damage any type of happiness that I could have had up to current. That be in my own independent career, establishing my own company, my own music, relationships, whether it be business partnerships, personal relationships. So I've had to do a lot of work, a lot of practice of self-love. I know that, I was that kid that grew up and always did the right things and always studied really hard and always did a lot for whoever I was working for and the company. And, that time has come and passed over and over again. And it's just been a nightmare to try to move on and do other things with other people without it getting totally destroyed. Other people I've worked with that have been on a plateau have been paid to fire me. I found this out, and then it just kept happening. So it was a pattern. Get really excited about something, you build it up.
Everyone was quick to believe Kimberly, especially after she brought up Solange, because not too long ago when Nicki Minaj was online acting up and dragging Jay and Beyonce, Solange stepped into the chat to allegedly do some witchcraft on Nicki. At least, that's what people were saying. So basically, while Nicki was in the middle of her rant, Solange jumped on Instagram to post these demons to idols she was worshipping. Because of the timing of her post, people accused her of posting this to hint at Nicki that if she didn't stop speaking on her family, she was going to summon her idols and place some irreversible curses on her. And Nicki definitely got the memo, because right after this post, she stopped talking. These rumors were fueled by the popular tea blogger Storm Monroe, who accused Beyonce of being a Hollywood high priestess. He said Beyonce has strong ties to a demonic deity called Oshun, and apparently this deity is one of the most powerful ones there is. He said Madonna used to be the highest-ranking witch in Hollywood, and she still holds a high place there, but Beyonce is currently the top-standing queen, and that's why the industry gives her so much grace. But people believe that all those awards they give her come at the cost of her children, especially Rumi and Sir. Yup, Storm was basically alleging that the reason why Rumi and Sir are not sharp as blue and because Beyonce allegedly used them as a sacrifice.
No, Beyonce is a witch. She's a very powerful witch. She's heavy into African spirituality. She is a daughter of, I believe, either a daughter of Oshun or Yemaya. I go back and forth. I feel like it's Oshun though, but if I got it wrong, I got it wrong. But nonetheless, she's a high-ranking witch. Okay, how many people have come out and said, "Hey, shit, my cat started dying. Beyonce did this to me. I saw Beyonce do that." Like this is nothing new. Okay, but you got to understand when it comes to Illuminati, to this industry, one person replaces the other. Madonna is almost done, and Madonna is a very high-ranking witch. She is a high priestess. That's just pretty much what it is. Of course, the main thing Madonna practices is Kabbalah, but then there's different versions of Kabbalah, just like there's different versions of African spirituality. But then I also believe that in addition to African spirituality, I do believe that Beyonce is into dark magic and black magic as well, her and Jay-Z. And we're just gonna leave it at that.
Once Storm put this out there, people obviously started doing their own digging to see if there's any history of Bey doing things like this, and there was. In fact, Bey herself was the one who seemingly started these rumors when she introduced her infamous Sasha Fierce alter ego. She revealed that every time she used the alter ego, she felt possessed. Beyonce claims she only calls that alter ego to take over whenever needs to perform because she is naturally a shy person and cannot perform without Sasha Fierce taking full control of her body. She said, "Right before I performed for the BET Awards, I raised my hands up and it was the first time I felt something else come into me. I knew that was going to be my coming out night at the award show. And just recently, when we thought things couldn't get any worse, one of Beyonce's former dancers, Khadijah Shari, came out to accuse Beyonce of allegedly paying people to come and kidnap her kid and SA her. Apparently, this was Khadijah's punishment for not staying with Beyonce after finding out after the alleged witchcraft. Are you serious? You called for my child to be SAD, you evil witch. At Essence, check on my child. I'm about to blow this through the roof. Beyonce, you went too far. You gotta be kidding me. I'm the child you offed to be a star. You forgot? You were only supposed to be a star on the tree. Giving orders of takeouts never went with your stardom. When it was happening to me, I kept my mouth shut for my career, not with my goddaughter. I'll blow your world up. Hashtag Destiny's Child. Hashtag Really Gigaman. Oh, but it doesn't stop there. Last year when Jaguar Wright did that heated interview with Piers Morgan that had Beyonce and Jay-Z sending out lawsuits threats, she also seemingly accused Beyonce of doing witchcraft in her house. She accused Beyonce and Jay-Z of allegedly keeping the remains of the people they supposedly unalive in their house, and then using those remains for their rituals.
Well, because the Me Too movement was a ruse. It was a setup. It was a scam. I'm saying that now, publicly. Dream Hampton spearheaded the Surviving R. Kelly campaign, which fueled the Me Too campaign. And that was all funded by Sean Carter to make sure that Robert Kelly went to jail. Get his lick back. Why is nobody understanding that Dream Hampton was being financed and ran by Sean Carter? They were able to go and get all of these witnesses because he was there with Robert Kelly. How does Jay-Z sit down with Gayle King and she not ask him one question about the intersection between him and Aaliyah and Robert Kelly? This is insane that people keep refusing to see what's right there. If the Me Too movement were real, why aren't they speaking now? They've also been very quiet in this time of the diddler's downfall.
Jaguar,
Get them on vacation.
If this goes to court, Jaguar, do you think that the world is going to be shocked by what comes out?
Oh, absolutely. I just don't know why they are. It's been happening in front of everyone's faces for decades. For decades.
How many victims?
What's the difference between me and Judy Garland? Social media.
How many victims?
There was none for her.
How many victims potentially do you think there could be?
Thousands. Thousands. I've talked to hundreds that I deal with still myself. I have 3 victims right now who are willing to give testimony about not only what Mr. Carter has done to them, but his wife as well. They're a nasty little couple. They do nasty things.
What do you think happened with Kim?
Keeping people against their will. Putting people on planes while they're unconscious, just like Aaliyah got on that plane. Unconscious. There's a lot of things that people don't want to talk about. Pierce.
But get this, y'all. Word on the street is Jaguar got all this tea about Beyonce and Jay's alleged victims in their house from Beyonce's former nanny. The identity of this nanny hasn't been disclosed, but word on the street is that she worked for B and J when the twins were born, but quit after witnessing the demonic mess. When she saw Jaguar going in on them, she ran to Jaguar to tell her what she knew because she knew Jaguar was brave enough to come out and say it. Apparently, the nanny didn't want to spill all this tea directly because she doesn't want to end up blackballed like the ex-drummer and dancer. One person said, Solange already exposed herself for practicing witchcraft and people still think those women are lying? Pathetic. It's time to start using common sense, folks. Another person said, initially I thought these allegations are crazy, but then I'm not surprised anymore because Beyonce did say in order for her mum to have her, her grandmother would burn candles. But now I want to know your thoughts. What do you think about Beyonce allegedly practicing black magic? And do you really believe that she's dabbling in that mess to help Jay-Z come out of his alleged financial troubles? Let me know.